soon be seeing you.
My first mountain sled was an Arctic Cat M8 153, and at the end of last winter I bought a Skidoo Summit 165. Since then I've been riding them both, so if you've ever wondered what it's like to go from a Cat to a Doo, in this video I compare them in the shed and then take them both out on the same day, same snow, same terrain, and try and work out why they feel so different, because they do, they're like night and day. Anyway, see what you think, and if you've done the switch or ride on them both, I'd like to hear about it. The M8 is a 2016 model, stock apart from a can and subcomputer. With a full tank, my sled weighs 263 kilograms. The Doo is also stock apart from the silencer and is nearly 20 kilograms lighter. Now, I'm not sure how important weight is for an average rider like me. I like light, I've got a feeble body, but from what I can tell, the way you ride a sled makes way more difference than how light it is. Still, 20 kilograms, if you think of a suitcase on a plane, who wouldn't take it? So here's what I reckon makes the biggest difference in these sleds: the steering angle and the front shocks. The Cat comes standard with really good Fox Air, and the Summit's got stupid Oingo Boingo pogo sticks. They're a joke. Seriously, go on the forums. Everyone upgrades the shocks. That'll be at least $1,000 thanks. I don't know what Skidoo was trying to do with these shocks, but I haven't met anyone who likes them. There's switch gear. Cat's got it all on the bars. Doo's got the grip heater and the the headlight switch down below. Overall, I like the feel of the Doo bars better, even though I prefer having the grip heater switch on the bar like the Cat, because I find I adjust that a lot while I'm riding. The Skidoo brake lever though, it's kind of tiny and cool. In fact, all the rider touch points on the Skidoo seem more refined than the Cat. It's like they're smaller and tighter, like the fat's been trimmed off. But I've seen Skidoo handlebars snap. While we're on the handlebars,
The shock system's bloody brilliant, mate.
I wish every sled had this. I've had it crank the engine up to 2 hours, so pull start at the start of the day and you're good for the rest of the day. It actually works better than they say it does. I worked out how to hack it too, so you can fit it other places. Doo's also got this luggage system. It's good, better than the Cat's hole and hook thing, although the Skidoo bags are crazy expensive, but you can bungee cord pretty much anything to the hooks, even if you don't buy their bags. The Skidoo scratches are also very clever because you can go forwards or backwards. The Cat scratches, when you forget and go backwards, you bend them. I also think the Doo's running boards are better. I mean, look at them. Thin vertical rails, no snowpacking, but the Arctic Cat boards have got flat surfaces that turn into little mountains of ice and snow. You can hack the middle out of each rung like I have, but I don't know why they don't just make them better in the first place. This shitty cheap plastic box on the Doo is actually really good just for grabbing stuff. The pouch on the Cat you'd think would be really good, but somehow it doesn't quite work. I also prefer the mountain bar on the Doo because you can do this. So we got a beautiful day. It's about 2 hours out of Tokyo. Looks like powder, but it's not. It's spring hardpack. What I tried to do was repeat everything on each machine in exactly the same place. The main thing I noticed going straight from the M8 to the Summit is that on the Skidoo, the handlebars are moving pretty much all the time. All the time. From the outside it looks the same, but with the handlebar movement and the pogo stick front end, it feels really different. Here's one on the other side, again on rock hard snow. Look at the bars moving around on the Doo. There are like 4 corrections just going in a straight line, while the Cat sits there totally stable. Look at the tip of the Skidoo skis here, and here, another one, here's another one, another. The payoff for the Skidoo's steep caster angle and hyperactive handlebars is maneuverability. I definitely find it much easier to get around trees or do a J-turn or whatever, and I guess that's why Skidoo made it that way. I think in their advertising they talk about power steering, and it does kind of feel like that. These sleds have got pretty similar ski stance and panel width, although I know the latest cats have really slimmed down the side panels. The Do is pretty amazing for a long sled. There doesn't seem to be any penalty going from a 153 to a 165, except hanging further off the back of the truck. I don't think I'll ever buy a shorter sled, and if I ever get an Alpha 1, I'll definitely get a 165. Sal, if you're listening, I'm not getting an Alpha 1. I don't need another sled. I'm just saying if I did, that's what I'd get. So here's a bunch of Sidehill comparisons. The thing about the Do is you feel you can tip it up anytime, anywhere, but man, it does not want to stay there. It's like the slightest thing will push it back up. And in powder, it'll leap back upright mid-turn unless you're ready for that pogo bounce and keep recommitting to the inside. To me, it doesn't feel like the problem is the T-motion. It's more like the front shocks just bouncing you back up because they don't have any damping. And I've got the sway bars uncoupled because that's what everyone tells me I should do. In comparison, the Cat is rock solid on a Sidehill, or in fact anywhere. Nothing deflects it. So I like that part of the Cat way better. Still, you do kind of get used to the Do. The looseness of the whole front end is probably good for a stiff bastard like me, and for this season I'm fitting a set of Fox shocks,
which comes standard with the Cat.
So I hope that deals with a psychopathic boingo bounce behaviour once and for all. Now I know everyone likes their own thing, but I think the Arctic Cat is the best looking sled out there. Polaris, close second. I got sick of the black and over summer I put a wrap on it. To my eyes, the Skidoo looks okay from some angles, but the front,
Come on.
I haven't talked about the engines because I don't know much about them, but I love the sound of the Suzuki 800 in the Cat, and apparently it's really hard to kill. One thing though, even my die-hard Cat friends who try the Do are blown away by that motor. They totally mock the kangaroo suspension, but they all agree that 850 is a stonking unit. It really is amazingly responsive and gives instant torque. The Arctic Cat is great too, but the Do, it's addictive. You just want to nail it. Full noise whenever you can. So where have we ended up? I call two great sleds, very different, both obviously way more talented than I am. I'm going to keep riding them both. The M8, it's just incredibly stable, predictable, super smooth and open powder. Not quite as easy to put on edge as the Do, but when you get there, it's easier to stay there. The Skidoo Summit, it's got that rebound weirdness, but I really like this sled. The one thing about the Do is it makes me feel I can go anywhere. It's got that snow bike easiness where you just point at something and think, yep, it's on. Still, there's no way I'm selling the Cat. I've ridden the 2018 Cats too, and they're even better. And now the Alpha 1 is probably the most interesting stock sled out there. I'd also like to try a Polaris 850 RMK. Actually I do have a Polaris in the garage, but things have changed in the 25 years since this one was built. If I ever get an Alpha 1, I'll definitely get a 165. Sour if you're listening. I'm not getting sour if you're listening. I'm not getting an Alpha 1 in this thing. I don't need another sled. If I did, that's what I'm just saying. If I did, I'm not getting an Alpha 1. I'm not getting another sled. I'm not getting another sled. I'm not getting another sled. In the end, if you want to know which sled I think comes out on top, sorry, gonna call it a draw and take turns riding him. Looks like they take turns too.